In the late 1970s, the Cold War wasn't just being fought on Earth, it had reached space. While the United States celebrated the success of the Viking missions, the Soviet Union was quietly planning something far more ambitious. A mission that, if successful, would become humanity's first attempt to bring pieces of Mars back to Earth. Officially, the project never happened. But according to a little-known theory among former Soviet engineers, one version of the mission did launch, and against every expectation, it came back. Not with rocks, not with soil, but with something that should never have reached Earth. By 1979, Soviet scientists had spent years studying Mars. They dreamed of achieving something no nation had ever accomplished: land on Mars, collect samples, launch those samples back into orbit, then send them across millions of kilometers to Earth. The proposed mission became known inside engineering circles as MARS-79. Official records say the project was canceled before completion. No launch, no spacecraft, no return capsule, a spacecraft whose name never appeared in newspapers, and a recovery operation in the deserts of Kazakhstan that lasted less than 12 hours before the entire area disappeared behind military checkpoints. No photographs, no journalists, no explanation. October 1983. Several shepherds living near the Kazakh steppe reported seeing a brilliant object streak across the night sky. Unlike a meteor, it did not burn away. Instead, witnesses described a glowing sphere descending under what looked like a parachute. Moments later, the ground shook. The explosion wasn't large, just enough to send dust into the air. By sunrise, soldiers had already arrived. Helicopters circled overhead, roads were blocked, entire villages were ordered indoors. Locals later claimed they watched men wearing unfamiliar protective suits enter the impact site carrying sealed metal containers. No one was allowed closer than 5 kilometers. When villagers asked what had fallen, the answer was always the same: a military satellite. But no satellite recovery had ever involved armed KGB units. According to the theory, the object recovered that morning carried the markings: MARS-79, return capsule, number 14. The capsule was badly scorched. Its heat shield had survived. Inside was a titanium container designed to remain perfectly sealed during the journey from Mars to Earth. Scientists expected nothing more than dust and small rock fragments. When the seals were finally opened inside a secure laboratory outside Moscow, they found exactly that. At first, dark gray soil, small black stones, tiny metallic grains unlike anything previously cataloged. Everything appeared normal, until the lights in the laboratory flickered. Several instruments suddenly registered faint electrical activity inside the sample chamber. One scientist assumed static electricity, another blamed faulty equipment. Then one technician noticed something impossible. The black dust was moving. Under powerful microscopes, the particles behaved strangely. Instead of remaining still, they slowly rearranged themselves. Individual grains gathered together, separated, then gathered again. The movement was incredibly slow, almost impossible to notice in real time. Only time-lapse photography revealed the truth. The dust wasn't drifting. It was organizing itself. Scientists tested for magnetism. Nothing. Air currents. Nothing. Chemical reactions. Nothing. Then came an experiment no one expected. The chamber was gently warmed. Immediately, the particles began moving faster. Tiny branching patterns spread across the glass surface like frost forming on a window. Only this frost appeared to be growing. Within days, microbiologists discovered something hidden inside the Martian soil. Minute spherical structures, far smaller than bacteria. Unlike any known microorganism, they showed no DNA, no recognizable proteins. Yet they responded to heat, light, and electrical signals. When exposed to darkness, they became dormant. When exposed to weak radio frequencies, they became active. One classified report allegedly contained a chilling sentence: unknown particles demonstrate coordinated behavior despite complete physical separation. Scientists began wondering whether these weren't individual organisms at all, but parts of something much larger, something that had once existed beneath the surface of Mars. 3 weeks after the capsule arrived, security footage captured an event that supposedly changed everything. At exactly 2:13 in the morning, cameras inside storage room 7 recorded a sealed container sliding several centimeters across a steel table. There were no people inside, no vibration, no mechanical failure. The movement lasted only seconds. Engineers blamed faulty camera angles, until another camera recorded the same container turning slightly on its own. The technicians who viewed them were reassigned. Storage room 7 was permanently closed. The KGB immediately took control. Military doctors replaced civilian scientists. Every notebook was confiscated. According to the theory, the project received a new name: Black Protocol. Its purpose was simple: determine whether the material represented an unknown life form, an advanced mineral, or something neither biology nor geology could explain. Months passed. More experiments were conducted. Then came the event that supposedly ended the entire program. During a routine inspection, technicians discovered one of the sealed containers completely empty. No broken glass, no damaged seals, no signs of theft. The Martian dust had simply vanished. Every room was searched, air filters examined, ventilation systems dismantled, nothing. Hours later, tiny black particles appeared inside another laboratory nearly 50 meters away. No one could explain how they got there. That night, the complex entered permanent lockdown. Several buildings were reportedly filled with concrete instead of being cleaned. According to former workers, the laboratories weren't abandoned, they were buried. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, countless classified files were lost forever. Somewhere in the former Soviet archives existed photographs of Mars-79, images of the return capsule, laboratory reports, and one final memo stamped with the highest level of secrecy. Its last sentence allegedly read, "No further attempts should be made to return biological material from Mars until containment technology surpasses current capabilities." Today, scientists continue searching Mars for evidence of ancient microbial life. Every new rover digs deeper into the planet's dusty surface. Every sample collected raises the same question: what if Mars once supported life? And what if that life never truly disappeared? History tells us the Soviet Mars sample return mission was canceled before it could fly. That is the accepted record. So imagine for just a moment that somewhere beneath layers of forgotten Soviet archives lies a scorched titanium capsule recovered from the Kazakh desert. Inside it, a handful of black Martian dust. Still waiting, still changing, still moving, and perhaps still alive.